Hi, everyone. I've had a lot of people messaging me about when I was going to put out more long videos instead of the ones that are short, like this, or even like this. Uh, well, the reason I haven't is because I forgot that I could. Sorry. I totally forgot. And that's my fault. I should have remembered, but I forgot that that was actually something that I can do. I forget about these things. It's the internet. You forget things that happen all the time because there's just not a lot of things to remember. So I will speak about the sink problem since I've had a lot of my fans reach out to me and ask for the sink situation that I talked about many times before, but I never went into the situation deeply like you wanted me to, because you're the people who really keep me afloat, and you're the ones who pay the bills. Because without you, well, I'd be completely destitute. So I will bargain with you by making this video. Well, so regarding the sink issue, uh, so this started about in, let's say, I'd say about 12, 6, 7. The year 12, 1, 2, 6, 7. That's when it perhaps started. And this was before Christ. Remember, this is before Christ and not after Christ. So this is, at that time, I was about, well, I'd say 80, 82, 820,000 years old at that point. And at that point, I had already accumulated a lot of bad karma from the sinks. At the sinks, they've been traveling through time trying to destroy me and my need to create capitalistic um, thought waves all around the universe. But particularly, I've had to basically stop using sinks for uh, about 572 million years now, because they're just so demanding. They need lots of coffee in their pipes, and they always need to take money from the people who don't have it. And so I've always been very much against the sinks, and I've you might ask, well, how do I wash my hands? How do I do the dishes if there are no sinks? Well, I have them, but I have to lock them up in a shed about 2 miles away from the house. And so I do use the sinks, but I do have to travel 2 miles every time I need to, wash my hands or do the dishes or anything. So every time I use the bathroom, I have to actually go for a walk one day in the merry month of whatever month. Let's see, March. The merry month of March. It's almost April. So it's March 25th, 2026. And so, but when I go to the sinks, they gang up on me and they try to sell me a subscription to the architectural, not the architectural digest. That's for people or entities that eat architecture. Now, they don't do that. I know people who do, and I know entities that do that, but not them. That's the one thing I'll say. Okay, I'll say one thing positive about the sinks. They certainly they definitely are good to and nice to architecture. I've never seen them digesting them. Most, I'm always really surprised how nice they are to architecture, actually, because most of my so-called friends, right, they go out and they're eating all the architecture all over the place. What did architecture ever do to them, right? It's unbelievable what so many people just think they're, oh, I'm alive, so I can just go and eat architecture. I don't think you can. I think it's against the law to just go up to the architecture and just eat it. But I guess that's what people think they're allowed to do. But I don't think they are. Anyway, I had to, whenever I go to the sink, and I do it, at least 6 or 7 times a day, maybe even 67 times a day, I have to make sure that I'm ready to fight them because they're trying to, they're trying to get information out about me, like about this video, for example. They were trying to use their telepathy, and they're very good at reading people's minds. If you know a sink, you know uh, a someone who can read minds, right? You know that they have good telepathy. So that's what sinks do. One thing they do very well, and they're also good with taking information from you and your aura. But I've made sure that doesn't happen to protect me and, of course, protect the people who watch these videos. So when I finally went up to and confronted the sinks again this time, I said, look, I know I use the hose, right, to, to put the water in the house because I don't like dry floors, right? I make sure that there's a sink running 24/7 in my house so that the water is moist and the water is wet in the house. And so that the ecosystem is nice and flourishing. So there's tons of bugs and centipedes. I guess that's a bug too. And there's a bunch of nice marine and aquatic animals in our house because it's so much water all the time. I'm swimming around. And then you say, well, if you have that much water in the house, why do you still use the sink? Well, because I am indebted to them for them saving my life about 2,572 years ago. And so hopefully when we get a new agreement with the sink operators and the sink negotiators, they'll we'll finally have a better understanding and a better uh, better we can negotiate better relations between humans and sinks, and that my subscribers and the people who write the comments on my post all the time will know that I am better at having friendly relations with all sorts of sinks, not just the ones that are in the bathroom, but the ones that are in the attic and in the basement, and also the ones that are in your room. And I still maintain that I have the right to hold the sinks where they need to be and hold them accountable. And they can hold me accountable as well for all the things that I've done and that all the things that you've done as well. So hopefully that makes a lot more sense. And I'm sure it does. I'm sure you've listened to me and you really thought about where the sinks and where you stand, which is about you're here, and this is where the sinks are, right over here, or and some of the other sinks are right here. So Now you understand, and I'm glad I could help you with that. And hopefully you will take that information and save many, many good people and bad people, and also the people who are good, bad, and ugly. Thank you.